It's going to be an electrifying matchup. There's a shot that's the rebound, but I think that might be an offensive. No, defensive foul. In fact, you can see that it was, in fact, Gonçalves who's going to pick up the foul.
Well, good signs. That's the second offensive rebound that Sibanyoni's been rewarded with because of his activity on the offensive glass. And here's the long-range bomb that comes in from Petro, and what they can do, so can Ganapamo from the short corner for three.
Smooth as you like. Prinsloo getting the ball back out, and here they are looking to try and find a little bit of space. And there's the was an attempt to try and get up. And again, the rebounds, another chance, 3 rebounds, and he draws the foul. This is really good work on the rebound department there from Nokosenati Sibanyoni.
Yeah, Nokosenati Sibanyoni right there again, being rewarded for his activity. Misses the close range or point-blank shot, but does draw the foul. Jonik Petro coming in from behind.
And 2 team fouls there for Petro already. They're showing their intent, they're underlining their intentions. Cape Town, well, giving a little bit of a growl coming from the Tigers, which is good to see.
Yeah, and I mean, it must be tough having 2 players go into health and safety protocols. You lose 2 starters. They've had to redesign their whole starting lineup. And so far, it's been a good start for the team from down south in Cape Town.
Sibanyoni. And the rebound dealt with by Gaku. Here is Gonçalves around the outside. And Dow goes for 3. It's a big shot. Oh, it just rattles her in and comes back out. And again, good defensive play just to make that ball safe at the back. Playing some good basketball, isn't he, Sibanyoni?
Has been everywhere on the glass, Sibanyoni.
That is really well played, isn't it, from Mike Kabongo. Beautifully done, sucked in the defenders, made the pass, the score's been made.
Well, he goes ahead and rewards himself with 2. Getting into space, Kabongo recognizes it and gets Sibanyoni his first score.
It's a 5-point lead for Cape Town, and it's a very bright start. Going for the shots from the outside. Oh, it's a beautiful bucket, isn't it? Look at that, the triple coming in. Beautiful shot from Carlos Moraes, known for his beautiful 3-point shooting.
He's come in and has already had an impact from the outside. The experienced veteran, Carlos Moraes.
Longo getting rid of his defense. No, look at that. Yeah, there's the big smile on his face. He absolutely loves it. That is sumptuous stuff. And a beautiful score there coming from that man, Sibanyoni, once again. They work hand in hand, those 2.
There's a reason that Kabongo was the assist leader in the 2021 season. And talking about reasons, that Carlos Moraes just laces one from the baseline.
Moraes with another fine long-distance shot there, and 12 points to 10, and all of a sudden Petro, they get 2 big shots and they're back in it. This is going to be interesting. 2 different styles of attack in the first quarter. Long-range shooting coming in from Petro. Here's Dundao from out wide. Made safe by Kabongo. 4:20 left in the first quarter, and a frenetic start to this battle here in Cairo. Kabongo, look what he does. That is beautiful, but he couldn't drain the 2. He's getting back up onto his feet. Of course, Dundao gets the ball out wide, and Petro once again, get rid of your man. Give yourself a bit of time, drop it in, and look at that. This is ridiculous. The scoring there from that man, Moraes. I think he's on 11 points, isn't he?
I think it's up to 8 right there.
Sorry, 8. That's, yeah. I'm ahead of myself already. He will be soon.
First 2 threes.
Are you leaving in the future?
Second one coming from the field.
Kabongo. There he is, just dropping it in for Prinsloo. Prinsloo tries to go up, using that big body of his, and that's a good score as well. That's what he'll be useful at today, not just. Well, he's Moraes is the man. Good work. Dundao. Oh, that's a beautiful 3-pointer. The triple, and he likes it a lot. That does. They move ahead.
They move the ball beautifully on the perimeter for the wide open 3, and it gets knocked down.
Look at that. The hand went up for Kabongo. He is going against him. And Dow so quick to get in there, wasn't he?
You have a look, and he gets a hand on it, and yes, there's a little push-off from Kabongo trying to protect the basketball, and that foul will bring us a timeout, Robbie.
I think everybody needs a break after that. What a frenetic start. Cape Town 14, Petro de Luanda 16. Time for a little break. Welcome back here to Cairo. This is turning into quite an interesting affair. We've got 3 minutes left on the clock, and we are, there you go, some wonderful, there's the alley-oop there with a wonderful, crash it down, make it yours. It is in your pocket now. Set it up, smash it in. We're going to go to Usher. Usher, what did you pick up?
Yes, both coaches are insisting on swinging that ball. Do not be selfish. Pass until you have an open shot and take it.
Pretty, you know, open shots, take it.
Sounds simple enough.
Go for it, absolutely go for it. It's one of those games where it's really open and it's very fast and furious, and I think that opportunities that come up, you got to go for it. You got a little second, you got a little bit of space. Try your hand at the magical downtown. Let's boom, smash it down and get those big points on the scoreboard as they are going. Racing up and trying to deal with that. You can see what it, you know, how feisty he is tonight. Mike Kabongo really putting himself on the court tonight, throwing it out there.
There's also a new set of 4 players on the court.
I was about to say, so they switched the matchup up, and they've got Jason Domingos back onto Kabongo, so they're going to keep moving trying to switch the matchups on Kabongo, who's going to be the primary ball handler.
Well, there's Reed, Liam Reed, who at 2'06", so he's what, 6'7", I think. Big guy, and this is a good steal. Excellent opportunity. The layup for 2 is good. And Ben Myberg showing us what he's capable of doing. The former player from University of Stellenbosch doing the business there, Q.
Yes, right place, right time again. Myberg picking up a steal earlier, and then this time scoring on the transition bucket.
I think that's a foul by Reed, I believe. Just he's kind of disarming that man, Yannick Moreira, preventing him from rising up and getting himself that chance to drop at the 2-in.
Well, both coaches actually going to quite a few changes. We've seen Ganapamo, Kabongo, and Prinsloo still on the floor for Cape Town, and Moreira coming in, seeing what he can do inside the paint. Cipriano back in as well, or in for his first minutes, rather.
Very fast and furious start to this battle, which is very exciting. It's a perfect way to finish off day 2. Of course, having seen FAP of Cameroon win their opening battle, and it was an interesting one against Espoir Fukash of the Democratic Republic of Congo.
I mean, we've seen the tale of 2 halves, and we saw what happened when FAP turned up the defensive intensity, and you can see how important it is to stay locked in for 40 minutes. So far, so good as far as Cape Town and Petro are concerned. It's been a frenetic but very competitive start.
Good shots from the free throw line coming in from Moreira. Of course, Petro de Luanda are a very successful team. 12 national titles as Reed goes on a little bit of a twist and a turn, and he draws the foul. That's really good play, isn't it? He used that big body, trying to cut between the 2 defenders, draws the foul.
He puts the ball on the floor, pirouettes in between the 2 defenders, and it's good work there by Reed, spinning in, and he gets fouled by Moraes, and it'll be Cape Town Tigers basketball.
Absolutely, here we go with Reed, and just focusing on the game, which is really important for Kabongo to keep themselves in it, and the ball comes out. He's Prinsloo going into the traffic. He's not afraid of attacking that Petro defense, but they're unable to get the score, and there's a chance for Petro to get themselves back into this. They got a 2-point lead as it stands, and there he is. Oh, he goes round the back, but he can't get the points. Kabongo picks up the pieces. Moreira failing.
Everything right, but the finish for Moreira on that one. Got in between 3 defenders, couldn't get the finish.
Kabongo's. He's just at it again, isn't he?
He almost looks sometimes like he's enjoying the game just a little bit too much, even in any context, and there's nothing wrong with that, but Kabongo is locked in for sure.
Carlos Moraes getting a little rest as we see Anderson Correia coming on.
And he uses the head fake and then draws the foul just before he gets into the continuation on that one.
Ben Myberg, oh, that's a big charge coming in. He's making himself known already, Lionel Paolo, with that hit coming in on the big man Prinsloo.
And that is 5 team fouls for Petro de Luanda. A bit worrying for Jose Neto there, the coach.
Yeah, we've got 1:26 left on the clock, but it does obviously mean that we'll go straight up for to the free throw line, Usher, and obviously that would be a bit of a concern. Got to remain disciplined. You know, he's a very tactical and a very stringent coach. We saw him last year. We've seen him and what he's done in the past. You know, with Flamengo, with the Brazilian team, the young different age groups are coming up. Having him come in to do this again, but go a little step further, is obviously going to be very important for him. So he'll make sure that he wants those players to produce the goods. Discipline is important.
So here's one of the difficult things, is that scouting the Tigers and scouting some of the teams becomes almost impossible, because you haven't seen any of these players anywhere. And I think that's also a factor, and Cape Town can benefit from having players that are relatively not so well seen or well known on the international scene.
Yeah, and like the likes of Liam Regis doing that and sort of, getting underneath the skin of Yannick Moreira and forcing him to lose possession, basically gives them a chance to sort of come back into this and get themselves ahead once again. They're not unfazed here tonight, which is fantastic to see, but you can't lose the ball like that. Great opportunity, little bit of hesitation. Oh, the rebound not good enough, but the first shot wasn't good enough either.
That was a great contest there by Peter Prinsloo. And second turnover there by Nkosinathi Fasile, who's just come in. Score still tied at 18. There's still 60 seconds left in the first.
So much basketball to be played. Still to come. It's a great little battle taking place here, isn't it? There's Raphael Edwards, who's the skills and development coach. One of many jobs that he has in Cape Town, right?
Definitely does so, and Cipriano wide open.
That is poetry in motion, isn't it? We're big fans of the big three-pointers. A little bit of a celebration there coming in from that man, Johnny Petro, who knows a little bit about those kind of shots as well. Oh, it's beautifully done. Look at that, getting in the way, and there he is. I thought that Cipriano was going to get himself a big score out of that, but the foul's been drawn, and of course he'll go to the free throw line.
Yeah, Lionel Paolo just attacking again. Peter Prinsloo is a recognized rim protector, using his body well to draw the foul out. And that man, Olympio Cipriano, just coming in composed and calm, and hit his first attempt from the outside. Left wide open. You can't give him that much time and space. If he can see it, he can probably knock it down.
Yeah, he definitely has a bit of experience in that department, of course. 39 years of age, Olympio Cipriano. You don't even want to look at what he's actually achieved over time. I mean, it's just ridiculous. 5 FIBA African Championship Cup titles amongst so many other trophies. His trophy cabinet is like sort of bigger than like sort of, my house twice over.
Extensive basketball CV he has.
Listen, they're going bit of skullduggery taking place for Petro and Luanda, taking the ball, getting hold of it, and they're making it really complicated now. Some big scores coming in because they're coaching and they're hot to trot, aren't they, Petro?
Well, the press came from Petro. They put a lot of pressure on the Tigers, and 3 turnovers is enough to force a timeout here with just 20 seconds left in the first.
You've got to regroup. Well, you've got a 5-point lead, of course, and it just basically means that you've got to sort yourself out. Why has that happened? Why are you making mistakes like that? Gather around, guys. Let's talk about it, because something's not working. You've got to be a little bit more alert when you've got your hands on the ball and make yourself available to take that pass in space.
Yannick Moreira fired up, but it's been an interesting performance. Carlos Moraes, with his 8 points, leads the scoring for Petro, came in and perfect from the field. It was Nkosinathi Sibanyoni's 5 points as well as his 5 rebounds to start out that kept Cape Town Tigers in. Peter Prinsloo leads scoring with his 6. And just this last passage of play, taking the game away from the Tigers, they've got to try and consolidate and see if they can score this final possession, as the ball is theirs with 20 seconds to go.
18-23. That's where we're at the moment. And of course, Petro and Luanda, we know they'll be very committed to go even further than they did last season. But of course, they've got to get out of the Nile Conference first. We've got Zamalek in this group. We've got FAP of Cameroon. We've also got BC Espoir Foucault. There's a lot of good basketball coming up over the next 10 days.
And you've got Cobra Sport. You can't forget.
Oh my word! Come on. How can the South Sudan giants of Cobra Sport. Last few seconds and a chance. Reed doesn't take the pass, and of course they pick the ball up. Petro Luanda going for a long-range shot, and it comes off the glass. Comes for nothing. 18 points for Cape Town and 23 for Petro de Luanda. That is your first quarter scoreline here in Cairo for this final clash on day 2. And you can see that Jose Neto just talking with his staff, trying to understand what's going on. We will take a break. We will be back in a few minutes' time. That's the scores on the doors after the first quarter. 18-23. Yeah, thank you for joining us once again. Cape Town 18, Petro de Luanda 23. The end of the first quarter and the start of the second. It's been an interesting battle that we've actually seen here. Cape Town seizing control earlier on. Petro de Luanda hitting back and getting the moves and the grooves with that man Moraes, who's been dropping in a couple of really big long-distance shots that have brought them back and taken them ahead.
Yeah, and turnover is the story, I think, of the first quarter. The substitutions, bringing in an inexperienced guard in that final minute when the game was tied, shifted the momentum towards Petro, and here we are in the second quarter.
Kabonga up against Dendao. And a little bit of frustration there. You can see that battle. It's an interesting one, Q.
Yeah, it's definitely the prime premier battle, because Mike Kabongo is the primary ball handler. He's looking to call a timeout. There's the 5-second violation is called, but in FIBA rules you can't call a timeout, not as a player, and so he causes the first turnover of the second quarter.
It's interesting because Coach Jose Noto just talked about that zone defense and only pressure on the ball handler, that is Mike Kabongo, and they've executed. Let's see what they can do on offense.
Well, they get the ball out wide and they drop in like that. That is fantastic. He does it in a big way. That's a great score. That is from Cipriano.
3-point number 4 for Petro de Luanda. Second one for Cipriano.
Need to hit back. Ganapamo, the man, the 27-year-old American, gets the ball back into the hands of Mufokeng. Out wide, picked up by Kabongo. Kabongo waits for assistance. Doesn't get it. Gets the ball out wide. There's the shot off the rim, and good defensive rebound.
Nice wide open shot for Sibagnoni, just doesn't fall, and now transition opportunity.
Oh, crikey, this is ridiculous. This time it's Gerson Domingos, the man who drops in for 3.
Opening up a gap with their 3-point shooting. Petro making it rain from the outside.
Bongo, Prinsloo going through, has the ball taken out of his hands, or he just unable to carry it through. We're attacking the paint, but forgetting about the ball. This is it from out wide. You can just see just what they're capable of doing, of course, finding a little bit of space. Really need to close down those players and do a little bit of what Petro are doing to them.
Domingos and Cipriano, long-range assassins, and can't leave them open. It's Domingos again.
Big shot taken well by Prinsloo, falls into his lap, into the basket, if you like. There's a good chance. There's a lovely little floater over the top. Beautifully done there by Mufokeng, former Ugoli Magic Man.
He just paralyzes defender, freezes him with the ball fake, and then floats one up and in.
Really good perseverance there, and he was so close to getting himself the ball there. Prinsloo just committing the foul with the second attempt, trying to swat.
He's active on the defensive end, getting tangled up, and he'll get called for the foul. And that's going to be his second. He's got to keep an eye on that. Peter Prinsloo, the big man, the paint protector, is going to be valuable for the Tigers in the center of that paint.
He's a top scorer with Cape Town so far with his 6 points. With a chance here for Anderson Correa to find a bucket or two.
He is there.
He's their golden boy at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, coming in from the Cape Verde, Anderson Correa spent some time with the Cabo Verde national team in the Afro 2021 campaign.
He picks up the offensive rebound and just doesn't drop, does it? It's really complicated now as they really need to get those points. Now look at that, he's getting so much credit at the end of the day. Look at Kabongo, he comes back and defends valiantly. That is absolutely fantastic play.
You spoke about the battle that's happening, and that's a result of that. This time, Kabongo puts his body on the line, gets in the way of Domingos, and draws the offensive foul.
And it means the world to him as well, because he knows that he's got to put in not just a good offensive game, he's also got to orchestrate, but he also has to defend valiantly as well, like a tiger.
Couldn't have said it any better, Rob.
All comes out is Reed, who's back on. Kabongo wants the big man to come and give him a little bit of a block so that he can actually try and get through the traffic. Comes out wide. That's a great shot. That was well needed. Evans Ganapamo.
Second connection from long range for Ganapamo. It looks like he's starting to find his touch from beyond the arc.
I thought it was an echo of how I said that, but in fact it was the stadium announcer who said it in the same way. Crazy stuff, isn't it? It might be me just going a little bit mad, I don't know. In any chance, you can see that that's good work as well. Once again, Petro Luanda getting the points and just keeping themselves a little bit ahead. That's a good... I thought that was a good pass until I realized it went over the head of that man, Kabongo.
Ganapamo gets across the halfway line. He gets trapped, and that's the pass inside. Leonardo finishing with no real pressure. That's just a beautiful pass and a feed from Moreira, seeing the backdoor cut.
They work so well together. And oh, that's sumptuous, isn't it? Lay it up and just pop it in. You know, that's teamwork. That's the kind of teamwork that the Cape Town need to show as well.
Correa got really high on that one.
Yeah, he's going to picked up for the foul there, I think, Paolo. Just knocking Kabongo up. But look how important he is, Kabongo. He's a player you want to keep on for all 4 quarters.
He is their primary ball distributor. He's seen this kind of pressure throughout his career, and there's nothing here that will faze him. Vastly experienced Mike Kabongo. This beautiful play, Cipriano, and just dropped in so softly by Correa.
Just soft, silky fingers, don't you reckon, Asher? That's just beautiful. Very well manicured fingers, don't you think?
It's because basketball is an art. It is an art.
Quotable quotes brought to you by Asher Kamagisha.
Bring it on.
Take that to the internet, please.
Kabongo. Now, support. Really need to. This is very aggressive from Petro Luanda, and they will lose the ball. That's excellent battle back to get hold of the ball. Get that panel, and the ball comes out. There's a good chance. He doesn't drop. No, Reed getting himself the chance to pick up the rebound. Battling valiantly, as I said before, but finally it's Petro who pick up possession. Out wide it comes, and it's Dundao, and the big shot from out wide from Joachim, unable to drain that.
Well, Cape Town have been very good offensively on crashing the boards. They're keeping their possessions alive with the ability to pick up second chance opportunities.
Have to score those points, those big points. Look at Kabongo, he's fighting for everything. That is just sterling stuff. He's an example for absolutely everybody. Originally from the DRC, of course, and represents the DRC, but moved to Canada with his family at a young age, I believe.
Yeah, played in the NBA G League, is one of the players that has G League experience, was a 5-star recruit out of high school, and Mike Kabongo is playing up to his top billing right now. 2 points, 2 steals, 4 assists so far, and that's when they say sometimes the stat sheet can lie, because he's doing so much to keep this Cape Town team in it. The foul called.
So much depth on the bench, isn't there, for Petro Luanda? They can mix their team up, they can mix their tactics up. They can go outside, they can go inside, they can get the bigs who come in and do that. Oh, that was very close, wasn't it? And well, the little tip in, that's fantastic. And that's what Johnny Pedro does. You'll find that his work in the paint is second to none.
And Vander blows the dunk, but having Johnny Petro there. The cleanup is invaluable.
Nearly a big score from Kabongo again. Look at their fighting. That is really good. Beautiful stuff. The fighting at the other end now is replicating what we're seeing from the boys in yellow.
There is no backing down as far as the Tigers are concerned. They're staying in it. They're trying to fight for each possession.
You know what's the people watching in South Africa? Look at that, the alley-oop, and that is being drained in a big way. Johnny Petro is the man of the moment. That's 2 big scores from the big man.
They're finding the seams right now. Petro de Luanda throwing it up, and the bigs are happy to flush the basketball down.
Ben Myberg's the man. Well, as cool as an iceberg. In she goes. That's a beautiful score.
He is a straight-up shooter from the perimeter, Ben Myberg. You can't leave him open.
Gonçalves out to Dundao. Dundao, they pitched the ball once again. The battle there between that man, Mike Kabongo, and just seeing Justin Gonçalves hit the deck. It's, you know, there's just some wonderful battles taking place. 10-point lead, Cape Town, trailing by 10. It's Cape Town 28, Petro de Luanda 38. Little break, we will be back. Yeah, welcome back to the Hassan Mustafa Sports Hall in Cairo. This is the Nile Conference, and a little taste of what we've seen so far. Oh yes, we like your style, Mr. Johnny Pedro.
Draws 2 defenders and throws up to the big, who's patrolling the rim for the 2-handed flush.
Let's go and hear from Usher. Usher, did you pick up on anything from that little team tour?
Yes, the emphasis for Jose Neto was on defense to make sure that they do a good job. And just to, interestingly, note that so far, Petro de Luanda has used 12 players in the first 2 quarters of this game. That's how deep their rotation is.
Yeah, it's a deep bench, isn't it? We know that. And Dow getting the ball out. Oh, a little bit of butterfingers there as the ball goes out, and they pick possession. 10-point lead. Jose Neto, there he is, so active on the side of the court. Very vocal, very instructive, isn't he, Q? Is that a good thing or a bad thing as a former player like yourself?
Coaches have always got to be instructive, and some of it is done before the game actually happens. Petro de Luanda, that was their 7th turnover on that one, but they keep possession alive on the missed shot.
There is Chile Dundao. Pedro just charging through, but it's Kabongo again now. They've got loads of numbers here. What can he do? Oh, he's just unable to do anything there. Oh, it's a brilliant block. The ball comes out to Prinsloo, out wide. Shot clock down to 8 seconds now. It's just opened up a little bit. Kabongo again, another chance to redeem himself, unable to sink those 3 points. And there's a foul, and the foul has been committed by that man, Johnny Pedro, I believe.
Can't fault Ganapamo for
the foul is actually on Prinsloo, and it's foul.
That'll be
Prinsloo,
third.
that's right, yeah. Prinsloo on Johnny Pedro. That was the tussle that was taking place.
I was about to say, you can't fault Ganapamo for the shot creation and getting Kabongo open, but he's still just struggling from the perimeter at the moment.
And another foul, I think this time it's Ben Myberg. And let's have a look at the team foul count. It's 4 so far, 2:58 left the first half. And we got Thierry Darlan who's come on, who's the 18-year-old, I believe, Q.
I'll first look at the elevate player for the Petro de Luanda squad.
Central African Republic. There he is again. He's a menace, but he can't drain those the rebound there. Good work from Ganapamo. Ganapamo drops it in. That is beautiful. Floats it up, and it's just the soft touch once again. Great score.
Somehow managed to keep that ball on a string, and they got behind the back for that lovely floater with the right hand.
Well, the big man gets the ball out wide, and it's here's Darlan with his first chance to try and get some points, and he goes darting into the paint.
Kabongo, I think, was called for that one, and the infringement. We'll see Darlan go to the free throw line. I think he called for a leg out, from what I could see from the referee signal.
Now, the concerning thing is that that's foul number 3 for Kabongo, and we got 2:21 left before the end of the half. A key player that we'll obviously need. And there, you can see it there.
2 starters from the Cape Town Tigers with 3 fouls.
And let's just celebrate the fact that Thierry Darlan, the 18-year-old NBA Elevate player, has scored his first points now as a youngster in this massive platform, which is the BAL-Africa League. Congratulations to him.
It's a great cause for celebration. We love to see the young individuals, young future stars making an impact, and even if it's just from the free throw line.
And obviously trying to do exactly what his countryman is doing on the other end, Evans Ganapamo, both from the Central African Republic, a country that is trying to rebuild and return to their former glory when they were a powerhouse on the continent.
Thank you for that, Usher. 30 points to 39, and here we have this man, Ganapamo, trying to drop in. It's an important point. They need to try and keep Petro close to them. You know, they were so unlucky. Petro Rwanda went all the way to the semi-finals in the first season of the BAL before just missing out on a couple of points to US Monastir, I believe. Yeah, it was US Monastir, and who lost in the final eventually against Zamalek. But they came so close, and it was really quite frustrating for them. But here they are going again, and coming up against Cape Town, who are throwing absolutely everything at them. They've got to try and keep Kabongo on the court, I think, Hugh. That's going to be important for them.
Well, this is going to be a very important passage here. Ganapamo at the free throw line. I think they will try and disperse the ball handling between Ganapamo, Myberg, and Festile, who's back on the floor. But it's going to be a very interesting last 2 minutes of the second quarter.
Fascinating stuff, the way that we like it. Gonçalves, the ball comes out, is Dundao for 3 points, comes off the ring, and a good defensive rebound there. Needed to get there first, and that's a good ball up to Myberg. Myberg tries to, that was a really complicated pass through the middle, but look at that, that is brilliant. Valiant battling for the ball from that man Matar Diop, who's the 21-year-old Senegalese player come through the NBA Academy.
Well, just couldn't get it because there was a hand on it from the outstretched arm of the Petro de Luanda defense, and he goes to his foot. He scrambled for it, but committed the travel. So, a turnover, and it is Petro basketball, and we have a timeout.
Cape Town 31 and Petro de Luanda 39, 8 points. Still very much in this Cape Town, of course, without 2 of their players, which means that they've got to make decisions. They have to work to try and find the right formula and the right tactics to play against one of the strongest teams. You know, let's face facts in the eye in the BAL-Africa League. And at the moment, they are standing up, they're fronting up. They just can't allow Petro to get inside and really create problems and extend that margin. Defense is going to be key for them.
Defense, and you can see that the effort levels have matched the fact that they don't have 2 of their starters available for selection. You have to credit their work on the defensive and offensive glass. It's allowed them to control some of the tempo and the pace. They've competed on almost every defensive possession, and they've done well. You know, Petro de Luanda have shot the ball particularly well from the outside. They have spread the ball, shared the ball the way Petro knows how to do, but to their credit, the Cape Town Tigers have not relented. They've stayed in it and competed, and they are still here.
Yeah, and I think that we can most definitely say that, you know, Petro Luanda is so capable of just shattering the porcelain palace, you know, in terms of a defence. And I think that, you know, at any time they're capable of getting themselves in there and making themselves seen. And it's up to Cape Town to just hold fort and prevent that palace from getting shattered.
I can't think of a better analogy at all. And right now it's a chance for Cape Town to try and do their best. It's those 7 3-pointers from the outside that has been one of the primary differences here in this contest.
1:30 left in the half, and Chile Dundao around the outside. Good opportunity there. It's a big shot, but it's just come off the metal and go out of play. And they'll be fortunate enough to get possession as well, which is a good scenario for them because, well, just 8 points down. They know that if they get 2 or 3 from this, it's game on. Game on.
Game on. Indeed, important possession. Cape Town got to try and get a score.
And sitting back a little bit, it's a little bit less stressful for them with the pressing. That is sensational. Just look what he does. He's got it all tonight. That man is on fire. Evans Ganapamo.
11 points for Ganapamo. It's that change of speed just coming off the dribble, gets by Moraes and then hangs in the air for the 2.
And that's what you do all the time. Just a change of speed. You click into gear and you're off. Usher, please, you need to calm him down, you know? We need to find a garage for Q. Look at that.
He's on fire.
He's on fire, fuego. That's a brilliant, brilliant drive through into the paint. Just look what he does. You've got individuals who are capable of just standing out from the crowd. That is a beautiful charge through and a great score from Moraes, who's been the man who's been dropping in from outside those big shots from downtown, out wide, from another planet, a different stratosphere.
The thing about Moraes is that he looks so calm. It's like nothing rattles him. He's stone cold faced and just goes about his business, looking for pockets where he can pick up shots, and is equally good attacking the rim.
So he's basically sort of, you know, he's like a pipe and slipper man, and all of a sudden he's got his spikes on and he's racing down to win the 100-meter, you know, sprint. I think that's, you know, the way that we can actually understand this scenario. Maybe, or maybe not.
If you say so.
No, please, I'm going off on one now. Let's get focused. And yes, it's a good point there for Moraes. Got picked up by the Toronto Raptors at one point before or having that contract waived, and which was just a move that could have gone through, that could have changed a few things in his path.
But that being said, he's still done pretty well with his basketball career, and definitely one of the most recognized players on the continent, Carlos Moraes.
It's a big, big dunk there. Look at that. Gonçalves showing us what he's capable of doing. Big scores and a big chance for a 3-pointer just to finish off the half. Doesn't happen. 33-44 is an 11-point game, and that was massive, wasn't it? A massive statement there from Petro Luanda to complete the first half of this second clash on day 2 of the Nile Conference here in Cairo.
What
Look
a
at that. Just look at that.
Fantastic first half of basketball by both these teams. The debutants, Cape Town Tigers, taking on the veteran Petro de Luanda, and it's been fantastic first half.
Cape Town 33, Petro de Luanda 44. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back in a few minutes' time. Yes, we are back, and we're very happy to be teeing up the second half of this battle between Cape Town Tigers Club and Atletico Petrioles de Luanda. Of course, the South African representatives and the Angolas. Now, just talking about these two countries, of course, you're a South African, Q, but Angola, half the population of South Africa is a 30 million population, and some big cities, Luanda, Lubango, Huambo, Banguela, Cabinda, all of these places, they absolutely mad about their basketball down there. Petro Luanda basically is up there in terms of, you know, what it actually means. Massive basketball community there, just like in South Africa in certain pockets.
In certain pockets, but we can't compare the two cultures. Angola have got a history of winning. They've built their culture over time, and go into Angola, there's no way if you can even get near Carlos Moraes with his 11 points leading the way. And Evans Ganapamo doing the same on the other side as far as Cape Town Tigers are concerned. But just going back to that, the Angolan basketball culture is amazing. They've built a culture of winning. They are African basketball champions. And you have evidence of it when you see this team take on the floor. There's a proud basketball history, and South Africa is a growing and learning basketball culture.
So this is a celebration of African basketball in general, and it's exposed to the world. Enjoy. You just take note, because honestly, it's big. It's very big, you know, and everybody's invited to play their part, of course. As we see that man going up for 3 points, it just comes off the rim, and it comes to nothing. Kabongo gets the ball out. That is, just couldn't drain the points. Ben Myburg doing really well to finish off and get the rebound there.
Sibanyoni just blew the dunk, but Myburg there to help save the red faces and really secure the possession for the Tigers.
Traveling cool, and they get the ball back, which is big, very important. And we're going to go to Usher now, who's she picks up absolutely everything from everywhere. Where have you been, Usher? What have you been up to, and what have you heard?
I've been spying, trying to spend some time with some fans. And they have a message for you, but that's only if you speak Portuguese.
Tutto bem, muito bom, obrigado.
Obrigado!
Okay, nice.
Well done, Robbie.
Okay, well, I didn't get the message, but it doesn't matter. It's okay, we're fine. Here's Prince Luke picking up the ball, and of course, Kabongo needs to be there to pick up the possession. Prince Luke getting a bit of a tap to the head. You can see that he's a little bit dazed. Shrugs it off, the captain, of course, and he goes to the free throw line.
We're getting tangled up with Gaku, and
no, it's not. We're not going to the free throw line.
No, just the foul being awarded, but just getting tangled up with Gaku. And you got to watch that matchup. I think it's going to be a little bit of niggle between the two individuals.
Ben Myburg. Here is Mike Kabongo. Kabongo, he just has the ball taken out of his hands and is just checking on the call. I think it's Dundao who just got in the way of that, right?
Dundao's hands are lightning quick, and that's not the first time we've seen him poke the ball away on an attempted layup.
Princely. A little bit frustrated there, but that's the battle that we've expected between those two players, of course, Kabongo and Dundao. Little pivot, little turning, full-back jump shot there from Prinsloo, but he doesn't manage to nail it.
He created the space trying to fade away, and it was an okay shot attempt. I think just 3 defenders on him, and that's the best he could come up with given the position that he was in.
Here is Dundao. Dundao, here's Moraes. Moraes drops it into the basket. It's been picked up and goes out wide, and that's a big long-range shot, and it's been taken here. That man Ganapamo is everywhere on this court tonight and playing such great basketball. That would have been a big score if he had nailed that. Look at the team players. Look at this. This is a family affair now, and I like the look of this. It's starting to look interesting. Despite the scoreline, it's only 9 points, but that can change now.
It can change in a heartbeat, and what they're doing is trying to take some ball handling responsibility off Mike Kabongo. That time it's Ganapamo who's shouldering the pressure and was able to make the read, penetrate, and he's going to try and take advantage of his 6'7" frame. He's a pretty good scorer, shooter, or creator off the dribble, and he can also get to the rim.
Ganapamo, free throw line. Smooth. Slick hands, 36.
Leads all scorers with his 12 points. Ganapamo, 30% from the field so far.
And another fine, slick shot there from the free throw line. And it's a 7-point game. Turnover and a 3-pointer, and you know, we're all back very close to each other once again. Moraes gets the ball out. Dundao, Kabongo. Oh, he lunges towards the ball. That interesting battle has taken place. Moraes goes up. I think it's, is it Myburg who made the foul?
Yes, they called it on 0-0. It is Myburg. They call the body as he just gets by. Moraes just gets by him, he leans in and then draws the contact for the foul and a chance to go to the free throw line. Now, it's the two leading scorers in the game for the respective teams. Carlos Moraes with 11, Ganapamo just connected from the other side. And Moraes is a pretty good free throw shooter.
Not on that occasion, Q.
Commentator.
It always happens.
It does always happen.
Jose Neto watches on.
In last year's competition, Moraes averaged 11.5 points, 3.8 rebounds, and 1.5 assists, but he didn't play that many minutes. I think we'll see an increase in his minutes as the tournament progresses.
Q, you know what I like about you?
What do you like, Robbie?
You do your homework, which I'm just impressed by that. That's good. I like that. I like your style.
I appreciate it.
That's good. Peter Prinsloo, here he is. Kabango gets the ball out. There's a good chance for Myberg. Myberg going in for three. That is a big score. Look at the bench out of their seats in a little eruption within the bigger picture, and it's very important that because it's a 5-point game now.
The ability of the point guard to find the open shooter, and more importantly, the shooter's ability to knock down the open jump shot.
And all of a sudden, we've got a 36% field goals to 37. You know, there's a little bit less in it now. All they need to do is just get a couple of those big shots, you know, drained as we see the replay as the ball comes out. Myberg getting himself that big shot. It dropped in beautifully. The arc, the trigonometry, it was all perfecto.
And the no-look pass coming in from Mike Kabongo.
He's got everything, Mike Kabongo, he really has. A little battle here, and comes out, there's a chance to... He's in the right place at the right time, and we've got to change with this man, Levisa Selepe, coming on, and a chance to try and get that. It's good defensive work there. They're trying to get the ball out very quickly.
Maybe a touch ambitious by Ganapamo with 3 defenders again.
Moraes just slips the ball. It's the perfect pass, isn't it? Straight into the hands of Gaku, come charging in from the left.
Great pass and even better finish by Gaku.
There's a lot of opportunities to score. It's a long-range shot just coming off the rim. Good work. Look at him, Dundao. He's so quick. You just talked about the hands. Is everything, isn't it, about him? Ball comes out. Prinsloo makes it safe as they try and push forward once again. Just slowing it down momentarily into the hands of Selepe. Kabongo. Kabongo on 3 fouls, of course. He needs to keep that like that going into the 4th quarter at least. That's a good shot. It's coming in and it's dropped. Beautifully done. That was important as well. We talked about Sibagnoni. He hasn't scored since the 1st quarter, I think.
Well, up to 9 points now, and Nati Sibagnoni, and that's just, again, Kabongo recognizing and finding shooters in their spots.
And Moreda to Moraes, there it is. Oh, he's a dream to have in his team, in anybody's team. Put him in your team, he's going to score.
You talk about shooters in their spots. Moraes gets to his, knocks down another long-range jumper.
Well, that was unfortunate. That was from Ganapamo going around the outside. Tries to do the business himself. He does everything, doesn't he? He can't nail it on that occasion, though. Moraes' head drops a little bit. Kabango picks it up. It's fast and furious here. 5:50 left in the 3rd quarter. Bring it on. He's on fire, that man, tonight. What a skill set.
You know, when he puts his head on the swivel, he was looking at his options, and he looked at the defender in front of him and decided, I'm just going to straight up attack. And Gonçalves caught on his back foot, commits the foul, and gets the and-one opportunity.
Yeah, but he didn't just do that. He actually winked at you at the same time before he was doing the layout. Brilliant stuff. We'll let him focus on his shot now, because I think he can really hear us.
5 points for...
There we go. We're so close to the players, you know. We've got a little bit of calm. In any case, Usher, what have you got for us? Where are you, and how's your spying going?
Well, I'm just here next to the Cape Town Tigers bench, and the message is very clear. Stick together, keep doing what you're doing, continue with that rhythm. And Mike Kabongo is doing exactly that, attacking the basket, trying to ask Petro de Luanda the questions.
And this is a problem. Abubakar Gaku just swatting down Mike Kabongo as he went for that. Let's hope that he's okay. The great news is he's back up on his feet. He's an absolute tiger of a player, isn't he? And he steps back up. He's okay. The block, let's have a look at this again. Just coming in. Bit of contact on the... It wasn't even... Looked like there was a little bit of contact. In any case, look, you can see the gesture there coming from your man Boyson or Elton. Elton Boyson, sorry.
Maybe just trying to exaggerate the extra contact by Gaku after the actual block.
And here he is again, making a little bit of space, gets the ball out, there's a chance, but the shot clock down to 6. Got to get something going soon, Ganapamo. And here he is, Kabongo for 3. And, it's just gone a little bit too high over the head of Prinsloo, picked up here by Petro. Then Dow gets the ball out, good opportunity, but the charging down the left-hand side, still with a chance to try and get himself this point. Look at that, perseverance pays. My word, that is extraordinary from Moreira.
That is fantastic footwork by Moreira, and that's an experienced veteran move in the paint.
4:48, and it's going to go to the wire to a certain extent, because they're not allowing Petro to go ahead. There's Prinsloo. Well, he's just a fallback attempt again, just missing his range. And that man, Dindao, just picking the ball up, and Moraes is there to take over, of course. What's he going to do? Where's he going to go? He's going to go for a big shot. Past it down into the 10 seconds, it just rattles the rim, comes back out. Prinsloo successfully defending that.
Moraes forces the switch and the double, and the wide open jumper won't go down for Gago.
Here is Kabongo making the call. Here he is, Mike Kabongo. Where's he going to go? Tries to go around. Look at his ability to just twist and turn, and he has drawn the foul as well.
Well, he's been looking for that foul call the entire time, and the one time that he doesn't attempt the layup is the time that he gets the contact call. And I think they call it on Moreira. Yes, he does pick up his first, and there's a timeout called on the floor.
Wow, very interesting. Look at this. This is nice to see as well. So Cape Town 45, Petro Luanda 52, 7 points in it with 3:59 left before the end of the third. We'll take a break, back in a moment. Cape Town of South Africa 45, Petro Luanda 52. We are back here, and some familiar faces around here, Q. You recognize that man?
In the presence of basketball greatness,
yes,
Dikembe Mutombo in the house to take in Basketball Africa League action. Our now conference looking in at the debutants from South Africa.
And sitting with him, Roby, is Robert Pack, the coach of Reg, trying to scout possible opponents for the Rwandan team for the playoffs next month. So, I have another spy here.
I don't believe it. That's great, you know. I mean, honestly, we'll call you 002 soon or something like that. Good stuff, Asher. And he's obviously here, because of the DRC team as well, but he's also part of the Basketball Africa League. An absolute legend. Great to have him. Robert Pack, of course, first season with the BAL, so very exciting times for him as we see that man is just doing the business. Evans Ganapano really getting a big score here, but look at the other end. They're quick to react, but on that occasion they can't score the points.
Credit Sibanyoni on the defensive end. They're just using his length, coming across to do enough to force the Moraes miss, but Ganapamo on the other end, he's locked in.
Very strong play, and you can see that Selepe getting the pass out, going around the outside, just dropping it in, using that wonderful height of his, but it's just a deft touch, isn't it?
There's a soft touch layup from Ganapamo and Kaku on the other end with his easy 2.
He could actually play basketball inside of a porcelain palace and not break anything. There you go. I don't know why that came up, but it came up. We can see what's happening here. And, it's good. It's good. The battle continues. The battle, the tussle, and the wonderful little rivalry between these two playmakers, Dundao and, of course, Mike Kabongo.
But if you want to test yourself and you want to know where you are in the basketball landscape, you have to pick out the best players. You know, they say pick out the biggest bully in the backyard, or pick out the biggest bully in the schoolyard and then go straight at him. And I think Dindao is picking up his battle, and this is what he's chosen, and he's taken it personally in terms of trying to come up against Mike Kabongo.
Lebo Mofokeng is about to come back on in a couple of moments as well. And as you see, Kabongo unable to score those 2 points, so it's 47-54 still. So quick to react, and they couldn't keep the ball in play. The cameraman and the photographer really getting driven into with a big coming in like a blockbuster.
Just almost a half a second late, and once again, it's just an outstretched hand from Sibanyoni that keeps the possession for Cape Town Tigers.
Lebisa Selepe. Peter Prinsloo, the captain of this with the Cape Town Tigers team. There's Dundao getting caught up, and I think they're going to get possession back, aren't they? There it is.
Yeah, 8 seconds. Couldn't get it across the halfway line. And credit the defense there. Credit the good work by Gaku.
Yeah, Abubakar Gaku, the 24-year-old, already 2 Angolan Basketball League titles since joining just a couple of years ago.
And of course, that 2021 Angolan Basketball MVP award.
That is something very unique, isn't it? You can imagine there's a lot of competition there. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. He's just doing it. He's on fire. That guy is doing the business. He's up to 18 points. And we still got, what, another quarter to go. Of course, 2:30 left in the third.
The Gunnar Palmo-Morais matchup, something else that we just need to keep an eye on.
But here he is, Gunnar Palmo. Boy, he's just, well, that might be an offensive. He's getting penalized for the charge there.
He's looking for isolation, and you know, we heard Asher talk about the fact that the coaches want the ball distributed, but Ganapamo is calling for the screen and is trying to carry the offense almost by himself.
Quite understandable after Mike Kabongo was substituted. He's on the bench trying to support, but turns out he's coming back on. Is he listening to our commentary?
Oh, no, we've had enough of that. Bring him back on, you know, we need him. Yeah, no, that's it's one of those scenarios where you just realize how important the player is. You know, you can't afford to, and he's like fired up more than anybody, isn't he? And they can't allow that lead to go away. They've got a 10-point lead now.
That foul by Labisa Selepe on Justin Domingos on the cross-court pass. The closeout comes and just sold a little bit, might have stepped into the space of the shooter. The ref was right there, made the call, and got 3 from the free throw line.
5 fouls, 5 team fouls for Petro Luanda, 4 for Cape Town. First is good for Gerson Domingos.
He had limited use in the first edition of the Basketball Africa League, 14.4 minutes. He only averaged 3 points, 1.3 rebounds, and 1.2 assists in those 14 minutes when he was on the floor.
His strength has always been on defense, and unfortunately there's no calculator.
Calculator! See
For
you later,
defense.
calculator. 47-58. So Kabongo, he got a big rest there, didn't he? Went off for about 48 seconds, back on court and raring to go, as you can see, full of energy. And that's a beautiful pass. If they can get points from this, well, he knows that he's committed the foul. You can see that. Lionel Paulo at fault.
And he smiles at Babacar Gaye, the Senegalese referee, to note that, yeah, I accept the call.
You've got to get on with it, and it's foul number 4 for Paulo, of course, which puts him in a predicament going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and that replay also just shows that 3 fouls for Paulo on that.
Sorry, 3, not 4. I didn't get my calculator, I'm afraid, Asher.
Well, it's late in the night.
Who's got that calculator? Where's the calculator?
We're looking for it. Maybe Q has it.
Maybe you can get me an abacus. That's what
I'm going to go with your abacus idea.
I got a giant abacus just in, in front of the
Abacus,
the
so just
composition.
basically the palm. Let's use the palm.
Yeah, there you go. Dropped in. It's an important point for Kabongo. But look, it's a 12-point lead. You can blink a couple of times and Petro just move ahead. And that's what they do. They're just steady and consistent. Good opportunity to drop in with a big shot coming in there from Paulo, but he doesn't drain it.
That's another timely hand by Kabongo. Jone had the rebound, and then Pedro plays some great defense.
He just watched him. He just stalked him, didn't he, Kabongo? That was brilliant defense. And how about that for a big shot coming in? And it's, once again, Domingos down that right side with a beautiful 3-pointer. The triple goes in. Prinsloo for 3. And this time it comes off the metal, tidied up at the back. Here they go forward once again. Petro just keeping calm, waiting. And this time you can see Domingos unable to drain that.
that they're going to grind out possessions. It's danger time here for the Cape Town Tigers. They have to stay locked in and play possession by possession.
And the shot clock going back, which is perfect for them. That's a great shot. Look at that. You always knew that the arm mechanics was always going to see that shot land. Is Cipriano just providing us with something beautiful.
That was probably the worst defensive possession of the game for the Cape Town Tigers, with second and third chance opportunities and wide open shots for the Petro de Luanda players.
They've been rattled, and now they've got to get back on track. Cape Town just losing sight of Petro de Luanda. They need to get back into this game. They need to turn each possession into points. Prinsloo out wide, good chance. Here he is once again. Garapamo coming off the metal. Good opportunity for a rebound, but it's been pinched this time. Keston Domingos, and that is the end of the third quarter. And look at that scoreline. It's big now. They've got some work to do in the fourth quarter. Cape Town. At the end of the third quarter, it's Cape Town 48, Petro de Luanda 65. The South African team trailing by 17 to the Angolan Giants. We'll take a break. So sometimes when I think about Egypt, I think about the dynasty or the dynasties that have been created, Ramses II and Nefertiti, all the rest of it. At the moment, I think we can definitely say that Petro Atletico of Luanda are creating their own dynasty here tonight against the Cape Town Tigers. Let's take a look at the summary. There's some good important figures on there. The assists, of course, the 3 points have been going in, and they got a big lead.
Yeah, 11 of 35 from the outside, and the fact that they've been able to share the ball just a little bit better tells you about the style of basketball that we've seen, 11 to 19, and that long-range shooting, those 11 threes, the critical factor in the difference that we see here.
Moraes, the man of the moment. He's got 18 points so far, so he's standing out. He's the only player in this Petro team into double figures, of course. Two players with Myberg and Garapamo, the players who got 10 and 15 points respectively. And Moraes once again on the outside of the arc, waiting patiently until he will go. He'll go for it, or he'll make the pass. Comes out wide. It's not a good pass into the hands of Prinsloo. Here they go, and here he. Great defensive play. You know, the way that he just got back in time and just marshaled him. Olympio Cipriano at 39, playing like a teenager.
That is a great observation, because what Cipriano did do was find Garapamo unaware and put a hand out, a timely hand, to just delay the transition opportunity on the offensive end.
And Usher, I think, you know, when you actually look at Thierry Darlan, who's the Central African Republic 18-year-old NBA Academy player, when he was born, Olympio Cipriano was 21.
That just speaks to Cipriano's longevity, and it's what makes him special in this team. And obviously with Lionel Paulo bringing that experience to the BAL.
Brilliant, it really is. Thank you, Usher. And here he is, Moraes. He's dropping them in. You know, he's got his eyes closed. I don't think he opened his eyes when he was shooting, because he knew exactly where the bucket was.
It's called muscle memory.
4 3-pointer for Olympio Cipriano.
With Garapamo. That is a major statement from the big man. He had to come through, but just look at that. He wades through the traffic, the quagmire, call it what you like, and it's slammed in. Beautiful score.
It looked like he jumped off a trampoline. He got up that high. Garapamo on the baseline.
And then all of a sudden you see points scored up at the other end, because you just know that whatever you can do, it's the same scenario. Petro can try and do better, and that's another attempt at 3 points, or 2 points, mid-range shot really from down the left-hand side from that man Garapamo, unable to drain it. All round, the back pass doesn't fall well. It's Ben Myberg who picks it up, gets it back out, and there he is once again. Lindy needs to be a little bit careful. What options does he have? Prinsloo through the trap, gets the ball out. There's a chance for Myberg to try and get the shot in. Prinsloo hits the deck and is taken up there once again. Domingos, long-range shot! Oh, wow! Big shot coming in. And Cipriano defends one end and then produces something that comes completely from the sky at the other end. Brilliant stuff from the veteran player.
And I know there was some talk about the value of the veterans on Petro. They're giving you a real reason, and they're showcasing why they are such great players. Cipriano, Moraes, chipping in here and showcasing their skill from beyond the arc.
And now you can see that, well, the scoreline there, 12 points for Cipriano. He's the second player, sorry, to get himself into double figures, with Moraes the other player. And you can see that this is just brilliant, isn't it? Excellent score there from Ganapamo, just providing us with the fireworks big time.
Looks like he jumped for trampoline in that one-handed tomahawk jam. A lead up to 23 now for Petro.
I'm glad you brought your abacus. Here we go. This is Ganapamo out wide. He spent so much time on court, but you know, I can sense that he's not as sharp as he was. Oh, that's a brilliant score, isn't it? Such a big score as well from Lebesa Selepe. I don't believe it. That's a... Well, I think that was there's a foul that's been committed there. You can just see that the block went in, but there was contact with the hands. Big attempt at a dunk there from Petro.
Petro trying to put Sibagnoni on a poster. Sibagnoni said access denied. The pass comes, he's behind the play, and does just enough to force the missed dunk.
Chance for Johnny Pedro to add to his 4 points. Low-scoring game for Pedro. Expecting a little bit more from him. We've seen him play some amazing games. You know, great performances last year. You know, and he's a little bit off the radar at the moment. 5 points, but then again, the 11 rebounds probably makes up for it, right?
Yeah, I was about to get into that. He's a double-double man. You know, he'll accumulate his points in and around the rim, and it depends on the style of basketball being played on the floor.
Pedro and Carlos Moraes has been outstanding tonight. There's a good opportunity as that man Paolo trying to drop a big shot in, but of course there's someone to back up. It's a rebound man, isn't it?
You spoke about him being inactive or having a quiet game, and I think he heard the cries once again.
Oh, that's beautiful. Look what he does. Dundao with a layup. He's going to score that every time. Electric. Fast, and that's a big score, 78. And yeah, they are well and truly ahead now of the Cape Town Tigers.
Shilde Dundao, just reminding us of Jean-Jacques Wilson, Shawozavio Senemukiza, with that still there.
Thanks, Sasha. We'll take a small break. We'll catch up with you just afterwards. 52-78, Cape Town trailing Petro and Luanda. This is the place to be. It's Dr. Hassan Mustafa's Sports Hall in Cairo. And if you're watching this, wherever you are in the world, and we hope that you all are, because you should be, this is fascinating. Big battles taking place here in the BAL-Africa League. And with Q and with Usher, and, you know, honestly, the tussle, the hustle, and the rustle of activity is big time here as Prinsloo just makes that big block there. And, well, I think that might be a ball. They get possession back, of course. Great stuff there, though, Q.
Yeah, another turnover, 20th turnover for the Cape Town Tigers, and 24 points have come from those turnovers that they've committed.
And they get hold of possession here as they take the ball up court. It's Selepe out wide. This man here, Ganapamo, he's just, well, ever present. Shot just coming off the metal there. 6:16 left on the clock. And Usher, finally, you get your voice now because we cut you earlier. Usher, what's happening? Who are you spying on now?
Well, I was just trying to remember Shilde and Jean-Jacques Wilson playing at the 2016 FIBA Under-18 African Championship in Kigali, and just seeing them grow into mature players, playing at the big stage at the BAL-Africa League. It's just, you know, a good story, and it just goes to show what could happen for the NBA Africa Academy players.
Yeah, and that could happen to you, and I'm saying you as in, you know, anybody who's watching. If you're young and you're interested interested in basketball, reach out, get involved in clubs wherever you are in Africa or around the world. But of course, in Africa, we know that there's so much going on. Q, you can talk to us about that, because you know that in South Africa, Basketball Without Borders was one of the first projects that was implemented in your country.
Yeah, Basketball Without Borders was hosted in South Africa, but I think the primary reason for that was the partnership with the Royal Bafokeng in the Northwest, and that's where one of the premier development projects in the African continent happens now. And you can do a little bit more reading up on the Royal Bafokeng and NBA partnership. There's a lot to say about it, but it's a fertile breeding ground for basketball talent, especially in South Africa.
Good opportunity here for Myberg to try and drop in, or it's just come off. They pick the ball back up. This is good play. Ganapamo in the right place at the right time. Kabongo with a shot that just comes off the metal. And that was, yeah, they just went out of play, so they'll get possession there. And it really is important for you guys to go onto the BAL website, because that's where you'll pick up lots of information about this and understand a little bit more about the Basketball Africa League and how it reaches out to the world, not just Africa, to understand, you know, how you can get involved and stuff. There's so much on it. You can follow the games and listen to us as well if you want.
The BAL.com is a great resource. It has everything you need to know about the league.
Oh, the tussle, look at that, there's a battle there. And they get possession. Look at Kabongo putting a lot of pressure on that man, Childe Dundao. You mentioned it, Usher, 23 years of age. Great future ahead of him. He is just lightning fast, isn't he?
He is a terror on the defensive end, and I love the fact that Usher brought up the comparison with Jean-Jacques and Shabozwa, because they are both really difficult guards to get by on the floor and masters of the art of theft of the basketball.
Oh, that's a good score as well. And you know, I got to give him total credit. Kabongo's been working his socks off, if I can say that. He's now got, what, 9 points, I think, but he needs to, you know, he's been everywhere. That's a really good pass. Look at that. Beautifully done. Yeah, I think there's some tired legs out there a little bit now, of course, as well. It's been a very fast and furious encounter.
They have got to remember that points difference can come into it, especially after the head-to-head battles are taken into account. So important for the Tigers and for Petro de Luanda to continue to play until the final whistle is blown.
Liam Reed, the player who was hoping to try and get some points on the scoreboard there, but it's the lead's just walking away a little bit too far, and it is a bit complicated for this Cape Town Tigers team.
It's been a spirited performance by them, but it's the ability of this experienced Petro team to take advantage of all the mistakes that happen on the floor, and the primary one is being able to turn turnovers into points.
You know, I think that it's really important that we understand that it's very complicated, you know, for teams to get the lay of the land in their opening encounter as well, and they find better form as they go into the competition. So I think we'll see a lot of that from, you know, from those teams who didn't manage to get the right results, and we'll see improved performances from those teams who maybe we expect a little bit more from.
It's always been a feature. The first game is the one where the nerves and the jitters are evident, and as long as the team just gives 100% of the effort, the coaching staff gets to look at some of the rotations that may or may not work, and you'll see those adjustments get put into place, and that's why the second games are generally better.
Yeah, Cobra Sport. We spoke to the staff and of course the general manager just after their loss against Zamalek in the opening clash last night. We understood that, you know, they're going to look. They weren't beaten. They weren't down. They were just going. We need to understand and just break it down, analyze and rearrange and amend what we didn't manage to do. Myberg gets the ball down, he's going up again, Ganapamo gets the ball back out to Kabongo. Kabongo's got Myberg, ball comes out wide, here he is, and Ganapamo in for a big shot, that comes back out, and Prinsloo left frustrated.
I think that's going to be Prinsloo's fourth, battling for the boards, but pushes off just before he gets the chance to pick up the rebound right into the back of Johnny Petro, and the foul gets given.
6 points, 4 fouls. He'll stay on court, of course, because he's needed now. Johnny Pedro gets the ball back out. It's a chance for them to try and do just a mid-range jumper. big battle taking place. That goes over the top. That is sensationally done. The reverse, lovely play from Prinsloo to follow up after some great work from Ben Myberg.
Myberg twisted and turned, almost got the touch, but Prinsloo stuck with the play. Credit him for not giving up on that one.
The under and over. Petro out wide, 56-83. Second chance points. Look at that, second chance points, 22 and 5. 22 and 5 for second chance point. Just gives you an idea of sort of, you know, what they've managed to do, Petro, and what Cape Town haven't managed to do.
And that and points from turnovers combined give you the picture in terms of the gap that we see here.
The score, the scoring landscape.
The scoring landscape.
And you know, you talked about spirited performance. There it is, back up to just over the head. And nicely done, nearly done, but a lovely little tip in there from Prinsloo.
It's such great hustle from Prinsloo to stay with that. Myberg could easily have finished on that up and under, but Prinsloo taps it in and he gets 8 to his name.
That's a very big score. That is double figures there for Kabongo. Needed a three-pointer, nailed it. It was perfect, 59-83.
Looking better and better for Mike Kabongo. You can see he's getting into his shooting rhythm, and that might be a good sign for this Cape Town Tigers outfit into the next couple of games.
That's Johnny Pedro's. That's the dirty work that he likes to produce in the paint, and he does draw the foul. Getting into a bit of a battle, a bit of a slog fight there in the paint. 1:36 left on the clock.
It's the way it's supposed to be inside the paint. Physical, you know, a battle for the boards, and there's no love lost at all once it's a 50-50 ball.
Yeah, I think that might have been Sibanyoni. Is it? No, it's Prinsloo. He's fouled out, in fact. There he is. It's okay, you know, he can stand up and say, look, I put in a massive effort tonight. Okay, we're not on the winning end, but it doesn't matter. You know, you've still got more games to play. You've got 5 more games to play.
It's only the beginning. 8 points, 6 rebounds for Peter Prinsloo, and that's going to be his contribution for the Tigers this evening.
I think my abacus, 4 more games to play. Crikey, can't believe that.
We got to get that abacus.
No, it's because it's so early in the evening. So early in the morning.
It plays effect.
Morning, evening, whatever. Johnny Pedro. There it is, 7 points so far. 14 rebounds. Looking to make it 50% from the free throw line, and he does it perfectly there. Look at Myberg, just waiting down in the corner and trying to stay away from Childe Dundao. Mr. Lightning Feet himself, lightning hands, lightning everything. He could cause an electric storm on court, can't he? That is brilliant from Johnny Pedro. Look at that block. Oh, outrageous.
Fantastic defense. Pedro is aggressive on both ends of the floor. Exquisite timing. Waited for Kanapamo to release the ball and then sent it back. Return to sender.
As Elvis Presley once said, right? There you go, Q.
I know there are plenty of people that we can attribute that quote to.
Okay. Wow. A wild pass. But we're approaching the last minute, and as you can see, 59-84, 25-point lead here for Petro Luanda. Good operation for Jose Neto. Worked his magic. You know, he's a good coach. He understands his players. He knows these players. Kabongo going up and trying to get himself that layup. Really good work on the rebound. Comes back out again, Apamo, and out wide is the three-pointer effort. And Johnny Pedro. Good battling. Very good battling. Oh, Reed goes down. Oh, but that's beautifully done there from Liam Reed.
Well, eventually they get the result that they were looking for. If it wasn't Sibanyoni, Reed announces himself, gets himself a nice dunk. Credit him, 2 more points.
And that'll boost his confidence a little bit, which is really good. There's a 3-point attempt. That's big. That's a big shot coming in. And Anderson Correa doing the business there. And stop the clock at 28.9 seconds.
Cape Town Tigers called the timeout. And you have to credit Sibanyoni again, makes the pass, almost gets it back. Reed is there. Skies uses all of that 6'9", 6'10" frame.
Yeah, and the moment that he actually comes up and delivers that fine dunk is the, right at the end of the clash. He hasn't had too much time on court, so, he wants to make a statement, give him confidence going into the next encounter. That's all that matters.
There's nothing more valuable to a player than to get your first 2 points in any competition. And it also just helps you relax a little bit. So for Reed, who may or may not see more court time, and I'm sure he will find his way into the rotation, but it's great. And I can tell you firsthand, once you get that first two, you just don't know where it can go to.
Just don't know where it's going to go, and that's exactly what it is. And, it might not be a favorable scoreline when you actually look at it. It doesn't matter. Cape Town will hit back. You can see that they've got players, they've got leaders, they've got players capable of creating something and working together. They've got to just gel together and understand and break down, do their homework on their opponents and get back in and hopefully get their players back that they're missing as well.
With all of that, they've got 4 players in double figures. Myberg, 10, Ganapamo, 17. Kabongo has 10 points, and so does Nati Sibanyoni. Prinsloo just missing out before he fouled out.
28.9 seconds left for the end of this opening encounter for these two teams from South Africa and Angola. There's a foul that's been committed there by Anderson Correa on Ben Myberg.
13 fouls. Petro de Luanda. First one on Correa.
Look at Neto, Coach Neto is still making the calls, still vehemently making his decisions from the side of the court. Here's Reed trying to go up. The defense is good. It's been picked up just out wide, and a chance for them with Diop, who's come in. The Reed get hold of possession, charging up court once again with Anderson Correa. Just calming things down, and this is the final shot. And what a shot it is from Childe Dundao, a brilliant score there. And that's the end of this encounter. Look at that scoreline. It's a big win for Petro de Luanda over Cape Town Tigers, and an ideal scenario for Childe Dundao, who gets himself a big 3-pointer there. But the final score here at the Hassan Mustafa Sports Hall in Cairo, it is Cape Town 61, Petro de Luanda 90. And an emphatic scoreline, but a spirited performance from the Tigers from Cape Town.
Spirited performance indeed, and a nice exclamation mark there by Childe Dundao. Picked up 11 points. Carlos Moraes led all the scorers with his 23. He looked super smooth from the second that he came in onto the floor. Gaku had 7. John A. Pedro 8, and Cipriano, who can forget his 12 points with his assassin-like performance from the outside.
And we're seeing that the players are just celebrating from Petro, of course, but they're also, appreciating, each other and what they've actually achieved. And I think that that's really good, and that's what the BAL-Africa League is all about. It's all about appreciating, understanding, and commending performances, because it's sport at the end of the day. It brings people together, it brings communities together, and the message is go out there and enjoy, regardless if you win or you lose. And even if you do lose, you know that will enable you to become a winner.
Well, when you have an experienced team like Petro de Luanda and the debutants as far as Cape Town Tigers are concerned, first game in the actual BAL-Africa League, it'll give them an idea of where they are. You're gauging against one of the best teams in the conference, and their journey unfortunately doesn't get much easier, because we all have a rest day tomorrow, and when we come back, Robbie, they face the hosts and the defending champions in their home court.
But you've got to play the big games. You've got to get in, and you've got to, take it to them. If you've qualified, it means that you're capable of playing against the big teams. Now it's time to stand up and get yourself stuck in. The first game, you can take it, any way you want. You'll take it seriously, but you use that as experience. It's a platform to make yourself bigger and better. And I think Cape Town will use this, because they've come up against one of the big giant clubs. One of the mammoths of African basketball. There's no doubt about it.
This is a winning franchise. This is a club with pedigree, and they came out here to make a statement win. 29-point victory over debutants. We expected that Petro de Luanda would probably pick up a win. The margin of victory probably just a little bit larger than expected, but they've come out and they've done the job as far as what is expected of them, and they'll try and keep the same temperament and tempo and try and build on what was a very good performance from their veterans and their youth.
And we're going to catch up with Carlos Moraes and get his interpretation from this victory, who's joining us on court.
Thank you, Robbie. Now, today you scored 23 points, Carlos. Congratulations. Victory for Petro de Luanda. How important was it for you to win this game?
Thank you. It was a big accomplishment. We set this goal to win the first game. We did a pretty great job. We're happy. On to the next one.
12 of the 13 players for Petro de Luanda played today. How important is it for you to have depth in this tournament?
Well, we always told everybody we have a deep bench, and everybody on our team is ready to play. And today we're showing just that. Everybody was ready, everybody contributed, and that's the way we want to play in the future.
Congratulations, Parabéns, Carlos. Back to you, Robbie.
Thanks very much, Usher, and congratulations to Carlos Moraes. Everybody knows we've got a deep bench. I think that everybody knows we've got a deep bench. Everyone contributed. Of course they did, because we're going to take a look at the top scorers. And as you mentioned, you know, when you've got players 4 out of 5 who are in double figures, Q, I think we've basically got a statement that things are working quite well, and that's Cape Town. But when you look at the top scorer for Petro, 23 points, and he was just on fire there. But look at João Pedro and his rebounds. He's double figures, but at the other end.
15 rebounds, and you have to look at the shot count from Evans Ganapama. It was 24 field goals. You know, he tried to shoulder a lot of the offensive responsibility. It didn't quite come off today, but there were some signs that he can turn on or turn up a gear and get from perhaps 3rd into 5th, and if he does, then they can ride their wave. So between Kabongo and Ganapamo, there's some great performances that we saw, or potential performances in the way that Cape Town can come back.
16-46 on the 3 points in the 3 points category, 5 of 27. It wasn't working for Cape Town from out wide, and I think we knew that right from the very start. Moraes was working his magic, of course, and made him, you know, get himself into that big tally that he got of 23.
46 shot attempts from outside the arc, and you can call it live or die by the 3, but they've been doing this for so long. It's been a trademark of Angolan basketball, and they will continue to do it as the tournament comes along. You can expect between 30 and 50 attempts from Angola.